Let's try and see whether we can continue. But in many of our classes or our lectures with respect to organizational behavior, there will always be confusion. You don't get me? Good. Because it's very difficult to study human behavior. Very, very difficult. But are you married? No. Do you know why you are not married? You don't know, you see. But that's a problem. It is a problem. Are you married? Why are you married? You don't know. You wanted to. And have you achieved it? No. No. You've not achieved that. Hmm? Given the second chance, you would like to change your husband. Was true or yes? In order to emphasize, to put an emphasis on his statement, he stated it in his own language. Yeah, Mangle. You understand? Good. Why? Because the only constant thing in our life is change. That's the only constant thing. So don't get angry when we are looking for new tastes. Because we always want to what? To change. It's normal. It's normal. Because we're saying that change have a profound impact on organizational what? Members and customers. You see, in another vein, we're saying that everything has a culture. Taste culture, dress code culture, language as a culture. Even the way you look at me, there's a culture in it because you have a way of looking. You understand? Now we're saying that the only thing that is constant in human life is change, which means that even the way you look at me once in a while must what? Change. Every time I enter the office, you look at me from head to, and then from toe to, has a what? A connotation. And let's go back to our basics in primary school. What is reading? You've been reading throughout your life. What is reading? Huh? Another term, learning. That's a big term, Massa. It's a big terminology. Yes, what is reading? I told you, if you sit in front of me, my first question always goes to, yes. Aloud. So, what is reading? Confusion, Yazo. You see, you've forgotten. But you have been reading every day. So, I didn't say it all. You said it. The way that changes are implemented and managed is crucial to what? Both organizational members and what? Customer. Who are they? I've not forgotten. I'll come back to learning. Who are they? It's crucial to both organization and members. You live in a rented house. You live in an organization. You don't own it. Even if you own it, you are living with other people. You are serving people. And your interest is about just what satisfies you. You don't care about the others. But you cannot live alone. Why do you call me when you are alone? To check on me. It's not because you are checking on me, but you want an interaction. Have you observed that? Anytime you call somebody telling the person that I'm just calling to check on you, no, you're not lie. It's not true. It's because there is a missing link for which you want an interaction. So the call is for your interest, but not checking up on me. Have you observed that? When you are busy, do you check on me? You don't check on me. You're only checking on me because you are lonely. So we're saying that learning, or we said reading, right? We'll come to learning. Reading is the decoding of the codes. It's a communication pattern. The words are codes, right? You are decoding them. What do you understand? What do you understand from that? You understand? It means stand up. It's a code for which you have decoded. I'm sending you a code. Now you are decoding the word, the code. It tells you that even in your body language, you are sending codes. And we decode them per our word, understanding. Don't do it as you think it is, because we're saying that for everything that you do, it affects you and your surroundings. So you have to be careful. Everything you do. You're complaining, I hate you. Why do I hate you? You don't know why I hate you, but you are the one who caused it, but you don't know you caused it. Every morning you buy milk. After drinking, you throw it inside the compound. My husband and I, we cannot afford milk. Who are you throwing the cans at? See? Who watched the Dagmani movie, Dabata? Thank you. You get it? Good. So we're saying that why must organizations what? Change. Because you cannot continue to live the same way for the rest of your what? Your life. Even your bed. After 1 month, it's faced this way. After 1 month, when you get inside, you get fed up and you decide to lie on the floor. You are fed up with the bed. Why? You bought the cloth or your dress, eh? You know how much you buy your dress, the ladies? 100,000, 50,000. 50,000. Eh? And then even sometimes you might not even wear that dress. After admiring it at the boutique, sending it to him, you will never try it on your body. True or yes? Why? Why? Because we're saying that you made the decision to buy the clothes not because you had interest, but because of external forces. You want them to know you can also buy it. Not that you need it. True or yes? So who are you talking to? So we're saying that you can change due to two sources of pressure on you. So change can also be provoked by forces within the internal environment and the external what? Environment. Am I making sense? So we're saying that change entails some investment of resources, right? Resources. You need resources. Time, money, energy, in order to what? It's not easy to wake up in the morning. Have you observed that? I, for one, even not because of this weekend, regular, I don't teach in the morning. Because I don't wake up in the morning. By now, I should have been on the bed. Because I don't sleep early. So you have changed my pattern. You see, not that you changed my pattern, but I agreed with you to change my pattern. So it's a mutual change. It's mutual. But you observe that every now and then, that 8 o'clock, I will always be late. Because I'm not used to leaving the house early. Right? Good. We'll get there. Now, as a result, organizations will differ in the amount of what? Change they display. They will differ. Why? No matter the amount of resources we pump into you, when you cook, we can't eat. Why? But you need just little to be able to what? Satisfy everybody with sumptuous what? Meals. Why? There's a reason. There's a reason. But you are welcome. We had not started. We were just waiting for you. Yes. So we're saying that change in and of itself is not a good thing. And organizations can exhibit too much change as well as what? Too little. You've changed 3 husbands, but still you are still at the same place. You are not yet satisfied. You have 20 girlfriends, and every lady who is in skirt, you are still admiring. You are not satisfied. You are building your 5th house. You are not satisfied. You are riding in one of the best cars in town, but you are still searching for another car. What are you looking for? Your bags are full, more than 5. You are still buying. You are still buying. Why? You've stock everywhere at home, food, stuffs. But in the night, when they cook, you say, no, in the night, you don't take food. You only take juice. But your house is full of foodstuffs, but you're not eating. What do you want? You understand? We're struggling to make a change to satisfy ourselves. But in the end, what happens? In the end, too much change as well as what? We achieve too little. There's a reason. When we say most CEOs see their organizations as being poor at what? Executing change. It's very easy for us to get fed up with our wives. Very easy to get fed up with our employees. I don't know whether you observe it. Is it because our employees are not performing or we are not leading them well? Yes. Is it that employees are not performing or CEOs are not leading well? Employees are not performing. It means there is that the management and that of that employee. So sometimes, like they say, motivation. Knowing the name of the staff alone is a form of motivation. So if the manager just comes and just go to morning, you're just giving me a reminder. I stayed in work for 4 years. In the house I was staying, nobody knew my name. You remember Dagwandao? They'll call me Dagwandao and I'll tell them my name is Isa. The next 2 minutes, Dagwandao. But we're saying that you are very right. That's one. Then we're saying that, you see, there are what? Several domains in which modification can what? Occur. If you want me to do well, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do, don't you experience those things in the office? Your boss is always shouting that the work is not going, but he's not telling you what you are supposed to do. He's assuming that you should know. So we're saying that change can occur in the organizational goal or strategy. The goal or strategy. Look, I must be frank with you. 90% of us here, where we work, we don't know the strategy and the goal of the organization. True or yes? We don't know. We were given an appointment letter for which we signed our death warrants because you don't even know, you can't remember the statements in the appointment letter, can you? You can't. Don't worry, those doing HR, when you go to specifics, we'll go to that. Most of us have signed our death warrant. And then in the middle of your career, you are agitating for better conditions of service. Now they refer you back to your appointment letter and you are confused. Meanwhile, you sign it, your acceptance letter. You remember? So we're saying that technology, what kind of technology are we using? We can change that one too. What technology are you using in your office? But do you remember? Some of us don't know. We only come to office, we are waiting for our boss to tell us what to do. But what you are supposed to do, you don't know. Job design. It's like the letter boss minuted to us. Are you the one supposed to handle it for me? Don't we ask ourselves those questions? Because we don't know our rules. Do you know your role? What do you do? Where do you work? You do not have directed as what? HR officer. Yeah. Don't worry, I will ask you a question later. She says she knows her role. I will ask her a question. The organizational structure, the process, the culture, very important today. Culture, the organizational culture, the people. Who can change the people? Today you are HR, we can remove you and take you to training and development. You have a training and development unit. Good. It's a new field. Many organizations don't have it in HR. Okay. Then, as we can change the organizational goal, I'll skip these ones because they are just explanations to what we just did. Okay. So as we can change the goal, in order to be able to get there, we can change the technology, vary from minor to major. Then we can also change what? The design. Okay. We can change the structure. We can change the process of doing things. Instead of going through the bureaucratic process, we can make it flexible. And that is why when the boss is not there, the deputy can sign, right? Do you agree with me? It's not always, you see, and that's the problem. Why are you afraid to allow your assistant to authorize in your absence? What are you hiding? What are you hiding? And that's the problem because you have personalized the institution. The institution is not a human being. I don't know whether you get it because I said organizations are the human beings, but I'm telling you that the institution is not a human being. Do you understand me? It's not Kojo or Kofi, but the people. So if you are not there, we should function. Yes, boss. The deputy is there. Definitely. He will be held responsible. That's what. They expect the deputy to have consulted the board, even though in a friendship, to be aware. Because in most cases, some create, even though you sign it, the deputy sign it, but the stamp is going to use the appropriate signature. Problem might even be before. No. So the stamp is an institutional stamp, not the boss. If you have a stamp which is specifically meant for the boss, then you have personalized the office. It's not normal. Some people can create their own stamps. And that's why you're having challenge. Because that's not the normal situation. You see, that's wrong. It's wrong. It's very wrong. An institutional stamp is not supposed to bear anybody's name. For example, head of department. Who is the head of department? It's not you, it's the office. So if you are not there and the deputy is signing, he will also use the same head of department to sign. But when he is signing, he will write for. So he takes the responsibility. You know, it's not all situations we have the normality. And remember I said, it's because of these exceptions that we have the police service. If everybody was to go by the red, gold, green, we don't need police. Do you get it? And that's why we once a while go to update. Yes. So if you are signing, they should write your name. You see, we are not here. Hello, a minute. We are not here. We are not here to go by what happens in the office. We are here to look at the best practice. So that when you go back, you know what you are doing is wrong. And why is it wrong? You see, that is why when you go to certain schools, when you mention captation, you will know who is the head teacher. If you want to know a head teacher in a school, when you go there, did you get your captation this week? You will know the head teacher. The first person to turn and look at you is the head teacher. Because they've personalized captation. That no teacher can talk about it. They don't even consult their teachers when they are drawing their scripts. You understand? So that's what happens. What are you? It's not your office. You see, so by when you come to our institutions like this, you see the way our offices are. The dean's office is open. It's not your property. Even the accounts on the check of the faculty, if the dean is not there, the vice dean can authorize for them to remove the money. It's not your property. It's the normal thing. So as the head of department, the stamp is in the office. Though I have one in my bag for emergency. You know, if people can meet you in town, please, can you endorse this thing for me? Humanity is sick because you teach behavior. So you have to change to meet the demands of the people you're living with. You can't tell the person, come to office tomorrow. No, you don't do that. So you carry the office to town. Yes. Directed by the finance minister, which he did. But in court, is it that before you delegate somebody, definitely, that's the normal thing. If you are asking me, for example, let me give you a typical example. If you go to the bank, the one who writes the check is not the one who signs the check. Those who work in the bank, you are aware. That's a typical administrative procedure. Observe in our offices, the one who writes the letter is not the one who signs the letter. I don't know whether I get it. Now, if the boss, the manager is going to ask you to write a check in the bank of an amount, you're supposed to put it into writing. But most cases in the bank is by word. You are digging your own grave. That's why he is in the court. And that seal is on that particular document. So you see all these cases in the court. That's why we are here. Let me tell you in fact, they should not be there because they didn't follow administrative procedure. And that's the problem we have now. Never, you see, when we started, you remember my statement. Never trust anybody, including your word, yourself. That's administrative law. Because we've worked for so long, I can just give you a word to do something. I won't do it. I will not do it. I don't know whether you've traveled abroad before. When you get to the airport, you don't know anybody again. Even if I walk to you at the airport, I will never take anything of yours again. If you want to give something to me, I'll tell you, just put it here, go and come, I'll be here. I won't touch it. I will not do it. And that is what is supposed to apply in our offices, but we don't do it. You see, the second floor, writing a letter on behalf of the president. The president a letter that write this on my behalf. No, that's why you don't sign it. The reason why you are writing without the writing of the letter without a written document is because when you write, there's no signature. It comes to you. So when if you sign, you wrote it. I'm not involved. No. When you are writing a letter for your boss, you are not part of it. He is going to sign. So after signing, he wrote it. You didn't write. That's the law. I didn't write it. You wrote it. And that is why you are supposed to read before you sign. Yes. My boss asked some people to come and collect money from me. And the document for them to sign was not with me. And then they are everybody. So he instructed them to come and collect them. When the signing book comes, and you come and say, I told them no, go back. When the guy is in, you should come and send it. He started bashing me. I went back to my boss. My boss called me. I think that this is what they have come to. I explained. Oh, didn't you sign on this? He said yes. So without the document for them to sign, I am not allowed to give them the money. They started insulting me. Definitely. Because they need the money. When you sign, you pick the money. Go by it. Especially when it involves resources. You have to be careful. You see, and that is where it is leading us to. The temptation, yes, madam, last one, or else they won't do anything. But we are doing something because you've just summarized my day for me. We remember we said we can change the structure. Okay. No problem. It's structured. On behalf. Now, when you endorse and there is a problem, they don't hold him responsible, they hold you responsible. You don't know. Because you are not because you have not encountered a problem, that's why. Come, let me give you a clue. Last one, please, and we'll move. Last one. Let's just draw your attention to something. Maybe it has never dawned on you, and it's good you are here. Every line manager is working on behalf of the boss. Apart from the CEO or the manager, all those under, you are doing it on behalf of, you understand? You are being given delegation. You know, if you go to the local governance structure, you know, delegation and devolution. Now, as power is delegated to you to do or to act on behalf of the authority, when there is a mishap, you are held responsible. Never think that you are doing it when there's a problem, you are in charge. No, that is your role, and that's why you are paid. Because the boss cannot be, you remember when Kwame Nkrumah wanted to commission a project during those days, he had delegated a minister to represent him, and the minister went there in his delivery speech. You remember what he said? I take it very seriously that since Dr. Kwame Nkrumah cannot divide himself into two double twice, you understand? You remember those days, it was those who could work, not those who could speak English. And the statement he made represents our case this morning. So since your boss cannot be there and be the other place and be HR and be accountant, therefore he has delegated you people to represent him. You understand? So he has therefore disappointed me to stand on behalf of him. So see your position in representing somebody as a challenge. Because when there is a problem, you'll be held responsible. And then you are moving me to another area where we call in management, protecting the turf. Protecting the turf in the sense that whenever you are in an organization and your boss likes delegating activity to you, be very careful. Be very careful. It's easier for you to fall into danger because sometimes he's delegating problem to you. Our bosses do that a lot. Yes, madam. Thank you. You can only avoid that when you insist on the right. You see, sometimes we feel very proud. That's why today we are going to look at culture. We feel very proud, satisfied with our ego that you are closer to source of power. And because of that, you don't scrutinize. Because you feel big among your colleagues that, oh, well, one boss is, no, boss will allow, I'm doing it because you think that you are the loved one, you are the cherished one. It's easier for you to fall a victim. Because when there is a problem, he easily delegates. He knows this is a challenge for him. So he will delegate that danger to you. You do the activity, there is a problem, and you are held responsible. And that is what Atuforcing is facing.
But the boss appeared in court and said that he authorized him to do that. Because he said he authorized him to do that. Why would they
Boss, don't worry. That's the political aspect. We are academicians here. Yes. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm. Yes. Mm. Mm. Thank you. You remember there's a word you use override, right? What does it mean? Sometimes you ask your boss to come and authorize the transaction for you. Mm. Mm. And he will authorize it. Yes. Mm.
It doesn't mean that just tell it as now.
No.
But very nicely, pass the transaction to your boss.
Mm.
If your boss means at the back, and says, pay,
then you are covered.
you are covered.
Then you take your this thing and come and file it. Let me give you a typical example. I said last one. Don't worry, I will postpone yours when we get to, because we have to go through something. I told you that this morning, this course, that's the nature. Yes, anything I start, it will ignite what? Arguments. Don't worry. SSB. I've been banking with SSB since 1999. There was one cashier. I used to like him a lot. You remember TLC? Was it this mango? There's this company. They are into mango plant. ITFC. Thank you very much. There was a problem with their check. They had informed the bank. Somebody went to the bank. They had informed the bank of that fraudulent check and that they should not honor it. The person went to the bank, straight to the, at SSB, the accountant is the deputy manager. When operations, right, went to the cash accountant, and the accountant authorized the check. At that time, it was 20,000. Not these days. That was the time they just changed our money to the new CD. 20,000 at that time was big money. Are you sure? When we give you 20,000, 1 week it will reach. The man authorized the check. And as I speak to you, the next day he was fired. Even transportation to go back to his hometown, he didn't have, because they had seized all his property. That was what they did to him. Yes. The cashier paid, but the cashier was not involved. When they came, no, the cashier was only. When they picked the check, who authorized it? That man. They went to him straight. The cashier was not even investigated. They didn't even interview him. I was there. It was bad. Customers had to, those in the bank at that time, had to contribute money for him to go home. Yes. We had to contribute money for him to go to his hometown. That was what happened. Let's not go there. Now, we're saying that the change involved a sequence of events, right? One, by Kurt Lewin, he suggested that change is a process that goes through 3 stages in life. We have the unfreezing, the changing, and then the refreezing. Why? We're saying that as human beings evolve over time, sometimes we decide to do something new. Change is a process, as we stated, but we're saying that it's not a one-day event. As you decide to change, you acquired your first degree, you are here to acquire another degree. It means that you had changed. You are now going through another process of what? Change. Many of us have gone through more than 20 stages of what? Or processes of what? Change. What is unfreezing? In every state in life or in your organization, you are freezed. You remember when you finished your first degree? Even at the time you were submitting your project work, you had informed your colleagues that after this one, I'm not going anywhere. This one, hi, I'm done. But why are you here? You see the process? Because we're saying that it's the recognition that some current state of affairs is unsatisfactory. At the time you were fixated with a first degree thinking that, Oga, you remember when you finished your first degree, first year, you went back home, you had informed your parents that your room was now too small for you. You felt that you were now big, you remember? And then you were having it difficult to even stay with your younger ones because you were, the ego had inflated. Now you had finished, you are in a stabilized mood, you had freed your mind, but now your situation is uncomfortable because you are seeing uncertainties in your life. Because crises are especially likely to stimulate what? Than freezing. You are not seeing yourself in a crisis situation. Because the position you are in, if you don't go for masters, there's a problem. So you are in crisis now. So what do? Your mind has changed, right? Your mind has changed. So as the mind changes, what happens? You unfreeze. You unfreeze because as you had freeze your mind that you are not going for, you are now deciding to go, which means that you are changing your state. And for those of us who had finished first degree, observe, and immediately we had a job. So, you can go here. For us, we are okay. For us, we have gotten to our level. But you get to a state in your career, then you realize that no, it will not go well. If I had gotten this one, I would have been, you understand? So you start to change the state of your mind. Observe, when you got your husband and your friends were still struggling, you remember how it was. You can go to school for us. We are married now. You remember? But you're married, but you're in class. And you're calling, so you want to go to school again? Don't worry. We will follow you there because we have now realized that our situation is uncomfortable. So we have to change. Now, we got to change, which refers to the implementation of a program, because as you change your mind, you are developing a program. What is the program? Because you want promotion. So you have to develop a plan to be able to achieve that. You have to move. You plan to move the organization or its members to a more satisfactory state. On top of the organization, you yourself are an organization on your own. Because you decide to change yourself, to move yourself from A to to B. As we speak, as some of you have gotten admission, you have started, you have paid fees. I bet you, let's get to the end of the first trimester. You start saying that, after this one, you are not going anywhere again. Because after you write your first trimester, some of you will go through some little challenges. You see that, this one is difficult. Me, when I finish this one, I'm not going anywhere again. Before you realize, you will come and buy another form, PhD. Because change is a process. So until you get to that state, you will not be able to determine where you will go next. You get it? So we said that change efforts can range from minor to what? So in order for change to occur, people must have the capability and the opportunity. You get it? In order to change, you must have what? Capability and opportunity. One of your colleagues, whom you completed secondary school with, calls himself professor, but he's not able to go to school. He has no first degree. But his aspiration is to become a professor. But he's finding it very difficult to even pass SS. Have you observed it? So we're saying that you are only changing because you have the capability. You are only acquiring the certificate because you have the capability. He also wish he could, but he has no capability. But the one who even had the capability, he finished with you. Some people want to join the masters, but they have no opportunity because they cannot pay. There's no opportunity. And some of them, even though they can pay, but the location of their what? Their organization is denying them the opportunity to go to school. Even the condition within your organization denies some of you long time the opportunity to go to school. And that's why you are now here. You had wished you had done it long time ago. I don't know whether you observe. So the capability and the opportunity and the motivation. You remember? And the motivation. Because some don't see the need to change. You marry a wife today, she is so fixated with the luxury at home, only for you to come back home and you don't know whether she's the one you married or somebody. Because the structure has changed. So the motivation I had in marrying you is gone because you are a different person now. Some people have the capability, they have the opportunity, but there is no motivation. Please encourage them to go to school. They don't see the need to go to school. Have you observed? In your office, there are people who are richer than you. But after they had their first degree in 1927, there's no motivation. There's no motivation. I can say that all of us here had a form of motivation that brought us here. Because as you are seated here, you remember I was telling my colleague that pay slip get problem. Some people are here because pay slip get problem. Yes. Because majority are here because pay slip get problem. So in order to offset finance, in order to offset the what? The deficits, you have to what? To change. By acquiring new knowledge and certification in order to what? To offset the deficit on the pay slip. You understand? And that is the motivation. And we say that after we have gone through the change, because we are now in the change process, because you are now acquiring knowledge, you are now acquiring skills, that will lead to the what? Acquisition of the certificate that satisfies you to be able to get what you want. So we are in the change process now. Now, after we had acquired that, we go through what we call refreezing. That when newly developed behavior or attitude or structures become an enduring part of the what? The organization. So after acquiring what you want, after instituting a new technology in the organization, then we believe that no, we are now okay. I have arrived. I'm now okay. Observe, the reason why many ladies, they grow big is because they feel that they are okay. And the reason why we men, after we get our desired job, we grow big is because we are too happy and satisfied with our state. And you see that all Africans are becoming big? Yes. Yes. All Africans, we are becoming plumpy. I don't know whether you observe it. Any African who gets a job that can pay him to feed himself, he changes, the body changes. Yes. Because we don't care about our own self, the physical structure. What we care about is what we can have. That's the problem. We say refreezing is a relative and temporary state of what? Affairs. Because you are only in that state because there is no challenging issue. If challenges arise, you will unfreeze again. You will what? Unfreeze. The food you have been cooking and your husband is happy. The day that he thinks that is no more the one he wants, you have to change and learn another one. You have to learn another one. But you see, how many of us will learn to cook after we are married? No, we think that what we know is fine. That's the problem. We don't learn to cook because the one you learn before you married, the man is fed up with it because he is outside. So he might come across one which is nicer than yours. And now he begins to feel that what I'm eating at home is not good. But you're not learning to improve. So there's a challenge. Do you know why we had independence? There was only one person who gave us independence. Not Nkrumah. Nkrumah didn't give us independence. I don't know whether you never read or you never came across it. We did history, right? Who gave us independence? The person who gave us independence was a woman. You don't know. Hey, you are not aware. It's a what? Is yes. You see, history is bunk. It's just the perceptions of people, but the reality still exists. You don't know. The reason why Ghanaians started resisting the white man was from a woman. Because when the white man came, they had informed us that they were sent by God to rule us. Are you aware of that? That led to colonization. You don't know. That led to colonization. That when they said, when we were told that they came with the what? The Bible. You don't remember? The colonizers came with the gospel. The ship that brought the Bible was the same ship that went with the slaves. You don't remember. It's not everything that is written is a fact. You're not aware. You see, if I'm the one who stole or who killed your husband, and I'm supposed to be the one who will investigate the issue, will you get the fact? Not at all. Because our history is written by those who colonize us. I don't know whether you know. Yes. So they will not write the right thing for you. They will write what you want to hear. You don't know. So when our men were taken for the World War, when they were taken for the what? The World War, their wives were left behind. The whites were with them. They slept with their wives. But you told me you were sent by God. It means that you are a spiritual being. So you are different from my husband. Now, I had an affair with you and I realized that the enjoyment I had from my husband is the same thing, even better than you. So when their husbands came back, they told them, no, these people are liars. They are not sent by God. The husbands asked, what happened? They narrated the incident. Then the men said, no, they are lying. No, then they started confronting them. That led to independence. You don't know. You don't know. That was what led to independence. It was the woman who had done her investigation to unravel the truth of the gospel man, to realize that no, he was not sent by God. He is just a human like me. You understand? And up to now, why still believe that they are superior over us? You get it? Now, it means at that time, we have started unfreezing from our state of what? Quagma. But unfortunately, even up to now, many of us still do not want to read or acquire more skills. And that is why it has now become compulsory in promotions, what we call CPD, in all professions. CPD, the health sector, they have started it long ago. Continuous professional development. Because we blacks are said that we are so fixated with our current state. We don't want to change. So they've made it compulsory now. If you want to get promoted, you must acquire new what? Skills or knowledge. Good. Any question? Any question? No question. Yes.
I've seen people in the year you can change more last year you just changed this policy, this like changing another policy. If you take 10 times as long as all that. So I am just like what
if you remember in one of my slides, though I did not read it, I'll send it to you. We said change occurs when there is a survey of the needs of the time. You are here because you had done your own analysis and realized that you really need to what? Sometimes you remember we also stated that in unfreezing, crisis can lead to what? the unfreezing state. So therefore, when organizations realize that what they are doing now cannot make them competitive, you have to change. You remember how the developed world got to where they are? Revolution. You remember? Kenya just started. I hope we can join them. But it can never happen in Ghana. It can never happen in Ghana. Do you know why? You know, you and I, we know we are Ghanaians. It can never happen. You see, so when you see an organization implementing different strategies of change at the same time, it means they're in crisis. They're in crisis. So they are doing, sometimes they are doing an ad hoc what? Process of change. They are just trying to see which one which will what work for them. How many girlfriends did you change before you marry your wife? You remember? You have to go through the records. You understand? To the extent that even family members had to recommend some ladies for you. Then you try and see whether it will match. It's the same as the organization. So when you are in crisis, you can implement different stages of what? The process before you can settle on one. You understand? So at the time that you are supposed to change is when you see the need for what? Change. When there's a need for what? Change. That's why I stated that you don't. A question.
The situation whereby but conditions are not satisfactory, so the mind cannot change. In that situation, is it reason or reason after the mind?
This leads us to the theory, the axe theory. That's what we call the axe theory. You see, attitudes are very difficult to change. You can only change when you have enough information. You understand? When you have enough what? Information or knowledge, or you add what we call skills. You made your decision to come here because you were given more information about the program, right? Some of you, you came first time, second time, third time, and then you go to another person. You even consulted more than 5 people before you took the decision. At that time, you had more information. Now, with more information, you acquire the skill. Because when you get information, it leads you to knowing more and how to do it. So, you see, some people are doing MSc, they are here for weekend. Some are coming for what? Sandwich. What informed their decision is because of the what? The information they had, based on the need of their current situation. Now, as I said, attitude. If you had met me outside, madam, you see the way I dress. Even today, I've dressed nicely. Seriously, I like wearing Lacoste. So, you understand? If you had seen me outside or met me outside, and I call you, madam, can I talk to you? When you look at me, say, you? This small boy. True or yes? It's a fact. True or not? Or true or yes? Thank you. It's a fact. If I had called you, I bet you'll be very angry. This small boy, who are you? You're giving me that attitude or that response because you don't have any information about me. Yes. Thank you. A beggar. The best. Yes. Thank you very much. It happens. And it's because the person did not have an information of who you are. You understand? Observe. Back at secondary school and even our first degree, the guys we dated were those we had issues with. But after getting to know the person more, you are attracted to him. You only value a human being or another based on the information you have. And that leads us to taking the decision to what? To change. Yes.
The scenario he is, I think that there are people who are ready to take to adventure. Even though he doesn't have history, he doesn't know the person. It's ready. Who are like,
these are exceptions.
They are exceptions.
They are exceptions. Yeah, they are there. A lot. A lot. You see, initially, when nature was nature, I'm speaking pure Dagbani. This is not English. When nature was nature, you remember, you can understand that statement. When things were really happening based on reason, you remember the cause theory, that nothing happens without a cause. Women could foresee the future of men, but now they can't, they are blind. Thank you. They are blind by the information they have. They have more information now, so they are blindfolded. Because they now take decisions based on the information they have. You understand? And that is why these protests are now prevalent. Because, you see, I thought it was only in Ghana that human beings adore wealth. But when I had the opportunity to go outside to study for some time, I observed and made my conclusion that it was a global phenomenon. Young guys were buying cars in China, not because of the need, but because of ladies. Yes, because of ladies. The car you are riding, it's not because you like it, but because you want people to admire you. True, yes. Given the opportunity, the cars we are riding, we won't buy it. We will go for smaller ones. Okay. Oh, yes. We've not even gotten to culture. Come on. 9. Okay. That's where I'm going. So I will not tackle that one. But I'll just get there and then we'll move to culture. Because 10:30 we have to close. 10:30, the next lecture might even start. So we're saying that change is frequently resisted by whom it is targeted. True or yes, madam? If you go home and then your husband tells you that tomorrow I'm bringing another wife. You have no problem. Thank you. Thank you. There's no problem. Then, don't worry. I'm just going to give one statement to explain your issue. Then, defense mechanisms might be activated. It might be activated. Because if we are introducing computers into the office and you are anti-computer, you will go from table to table. Madam, can you see that they went and bought some rotten computers? This computer will not help our organization. Meanwhile, you won't tell anybody that you don't like it. But you are condemning the computers. You understand? Any change activity that they are going to introduce, you kickstart your defensive mechanisms. When they are bringing a second wife, see what our women do. Oh, you are not able to even take care of the family and you are bringing this man. Okay. Even if there is agreement, that change is necessary. Any specific plan for change might be what? Resisted. So if we had an agreement that we should introduce what? We should digitalize our systems. But because you are A Wahe, D Wahe, after the meeting, you will go and be looking for people to support you to resist it. Because we voted and we all agreed. Majority carries the vote. But no, you are not in agreement. We'll fight it. So don't worry. Why do we resist it? What are the causes of resistance? Yes. What are the causes of resistance? Self-interest. Low and individual what? Tolerance for change. Because you don't know whether when the computers or digitalization takes place, somebody will take your position. Because some people are specialized in it. So you see poaching in the banks. You'll be there, they're going to bring somebody and pay him more than you. So how can you accept that change? When they are talking about bringing in sophisticated systems, as they are bringing in sophisticated systems, they are also looking for human resource that can be able to manage it very well. Now you can't, so you fight it. Then that's why whenever they form a committee to look into what we have been doing now and recommend other avenues to improve the organizational processes, the committee will sit that so that kingdom come. Their report will never come. You will always be delaying it. Whenever you see that happen, it should tell you a story. That what they have assessed, the recommendation that they will give is going to affect them. So their interest, they will not finish. They will keep postponing submitting the report because the report does not favor them. How can you recommend that they should sack you? Then, strong emotions. Strong emotions. Then, a resistant organizational what? Culture. In our organizations, you remember some people say, we do it this way. That's the culture. You understand? That is the culture. This is the way so when some people were giving their explanation, say, we do it, something occurred to me. They are consumed by their culture in the organization. So to understand that you believe that if you are not there, it will not be done. That's the culture. And you are so, yes. You have affection. You want to marry a second wife. Then you give her all the necessary things. To the extent that even sometimes when we want to marry our second wife, we send them to her before we tell them. You remember the story this year? The woman was, immediately they landed, they gave her a story that the man was going to pay the dowry of another. She booked the next flight. This is emotion. You understand? She's being emotional with the activity or the issue at hand. She booked the next flight and came back. You see, you're surprised. So this is emotional. You understand? Because whether you like it or not, this is something you cannot stop. There's a better way to do it. So you will not even look at the benefits to you, but you resist it because of your emotions. So with emotions, people don't even analyze the situation. Immediately the situation is brought before them, they will resist it. You understand? Okay. Yes. 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 It's perfect example. It's a perfect example. Now, madam, how can we deal with resistance? That was your question. Okay. You see, and I said I will just give you one story. Last year, or last 3 years or 4 years, I was handling one way in WA. So I was handling MBA students in WA. And at the end of the program, one student, up to now, she calls me the storyteller. I tell a lot of stories, but I don't tell, I just explain the issue. You understand? You see, with resistance to change, there's a better way to deal with it. But I'll just explain one. There was a man in our area who wanted to marry a second wife. Then he got home with the perception that the woman will not agree. She will resist it. So when he got home, the first thing he told the wife was that from today, our marriage is over, pack. Why? Are you joking? No, 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 no. You go. I've already informed my people. I'm not interested in the marriage. Please go home. She went to the imams in the area. They came, talked to them. Madam said, no, I've taken my decision. Please go. For 1 week, there was no conversation, no interaction. He will not eat the food, nothing. The woman went to her father. They called the man. The man said, no, I'm not interested. If I'm not interested, how can you force me to be with her? So you allow her to come home. So they asked the woman to pack and come. After she packed, the next day, men, sometimes they are very wise. So the man, the lady's father went to the guy, sat him down, said, please, we just need to understand why you are no more interested in you understand? The man said, hey, now we are talking. So as we are now talking like men, I will tell you. You see, I want to marry a second wife, but I know your daughter will not agree. So in order for her to resist my proposal, please, just let her go, and I'll bring my wife. So the man said, oh, this is fine. I'll go and talk. So when the man sat the daughter down and made this information available to say, this is a simple thing. Simple. I can manage. So she just packed her thing and went, but why didn't you tell me earlier and you made everybody to, but who is the lady? I'll lead the process. Because sometimes people resist change in the manner in which we deliver the change. In the middle of the crowd, even if my dress is not decent and you don't present it nicely to me, I'll be angry. Can we continue? Thank you. So don't worry, it's not that we know how to present it. We know how to present it. Any question? No question. Don't worry, these are explanations that I hope you are clear now, madam. So in the presentation of the change itself, there must be a mechanism to deliver the information. You see, we were told that when you have a group of people or when you live within a family or an organization and you know somebody is truant, anytime you are forming a group or teams, you are forming teams, the one who is truant is the one you make the leader and give them timelines. So he will be forced to get involved. Don't worry, when we come to groups and teams. Okay, any question? No question. Hey, yeah, thank you, Aja. I'm trying to. Look, at the doorsteps of our people. Yes, there's a reason why at that place change is slow. Because of self-interest. That's self-interest. What is a political party? It's a group of people with the same interests. That's it. It's interest. So when interest supersedes what? The collective good of the society, this is where we find ourselves. So every now and then, have you ever heard a statement from any leader in Ghana who says that something is working well? Have you ever heard that statement? When you tell a lie for a long time, people tend to believe you. Have you observed it? It's a psychological thing. So every now and then, from leader to leader, everybody tells you that things are not well. You watch Metro TV in the morning. The last one before the program starts, that Nigerian man, every year, I don't know whether you remember his statements, that there are two types of wicked people. There are two types of what? Wicked people. Every year they tell you that there's no money, there's no money. But when it comes to the political time, elections time, they bring money. Where are they getting the money? I don't know whether you've been listening to that statement. That every time they tell you there is no money, there is no money. But when it comes to elections, they bring money. Where You are changing because of somebody. Your husband is going for a lady who is wearing jeans. Because of jeans, you also go and buy jeans. It's a fact. It's a fact. Then you also go and buy jeans. True or yes? But you don't know whether the jeans will fit, yes? Why? It should be done based on a reason. Okay. No, you can't do it automatic. You see, what you should do is that you're doing what we call universal operations or universal decisions. You see, that's what is the problem when it comes to even motivation on our compensation systems in Ghana. We're all working in the office because we have first degree, we are paid the same amount. And that's why our organizations are not performing. Universal payment system. So you should bear in mind that your customers are what? Varied and diverse. Though there is e-levy, some will prefer to use that platform than bringing cash. So you make avenue for all diverse customers. Those who want to come with cash, the stingy one, and those who want to still go by mobile money. You make provision for them because you are dealing with diverse customers, and the customer is your what? Your priority. Without the customer, you have no business. You understand? Now, what is innovation? This leads us to innovation. Just 10 minutes. Innovation. So we're saying that the process of developing or implementing new ideas in an organization. So that's new. You are thinking of moving here and moving there. No, don't move that way. Divide yourself. As Kwame Nkrumah cannot divide himself into two double what? Wise. You remember? So what you do is that the degree of creativity, you have to be creative in order to meet the demands of society. You have to be creative. Some men are wearing fit not because they like wearing fit. I don't know these days. You see a man wearing a t-shirt or a Lacoste, and it's as if he's going to the gym. Everything is tight. What is this? Are you a small boy? You have to be creative. Because when you dress that way in certain societies, they don't value you. When they are taking decisions, they won't invite you. Oh, yes. It's a culture. You need to know this. You need to know. So we're saying that innovation can be classified into what? The following. We don't put it in our pocket. No, how? How can you buy 10,000 for and put it in your pocket? No. Especially the ladies. I just admire you. I just admire you. Even when they are riding motorbike. No, how? Thank you. And when they are doing it, madam, let me use your phone. And when they will not show you this side. They will show you the three eyes. Yeah, how? 10,000 you put in your phone, your pocket. No. So when Apple came with that technology, it was a product for which they innovated, which disrupted the what? The industry. So we're saying that we can innovate a product, or we can innovate a what? A process. By enhancing the efficiency of the process, that can bring in more income or can change the attitude of the way you do things towards your customers and yourself. So the process of getting your income can be what? Can be changed. Instead of paying by Momo, you're having challenges, you want to go back to cash, be innovative. Do it both. You understand? Do it both. You can even do it by math. They call you and then you go and take it. You know the banks do that. Mobile banking. No, that's not mobile banking. Mobile. These cashiers who very good. Yes, these cashiers who go to the organizations to pick the cash. You see, the human being's ego is said that it's easily affected whenever you give them an opportunity to become bosses. I don't know whether you observe. You sell your products. At the end of the day, you are supposed to bring the money to the bank. We tell you that don't come. We come with a car and a policeman, and then sit where you want. We take the money and we give you your receipt. You feel big. You are happy. I don't know what you observe. It's an innovation. And then they introduce what we call prestige banking. You come to the bank, there are so many customers. Then we tell you that no, you don't queue. Go here, we'll give you coffee and we serve you. And at the end of the month, they do what? They take something small. And you are feeling happy. You are big. That's innovation on the process of service. So I'll give you an assignment on innovation so that you think about how you change the way you serve people in your organization. Not the one you do now, but the one which never existed in your organization. And you think that that can be implemented to change the process of doing things. No, you can do it. Just go to your bed and think. You can do it. And that is how the developed world they do. At the end of your program, what they do is that you don't just write anything. When you're writing your thesis, they ask the question, first question, when you bring your topic and your proposal, what is new? What is new that you want to talk about? If you want to talk about something they already talked about, the professor will tell you, Master, go and think again. Somebody already talked about it, go and think again. You can change even the minute aspect of even the way you sleep. You observe. How many times have you changed your mattress? Because you've been going to the doctor thinking that you are sick, not knowing it's your mattress. It's your mattress. Your waist, you're complaining, it's the mattress. And the shoe. But because you have no coordinated idea of what? Creativity. You always fixated with doctor. You take all the drugs in the world and you never get healed. Okay. Then we also saying that in managerial innovations are new forms of strategy, structure, human resource what? And managerial practices that facilitate organizational change and what? Adaptation. Human resource, which operating system do you use for your human resource? There is. What is the name? No, you should have a specific, it's a general term. It's called what? You have done well. They even have. UDS, we don't have. We don't have. UDS, we don't have an HR system. We don't have. So if you are looking for a staff file, they must go to the room with the ID. Yes. Yes, we don't have. We don't have. I'm a staff. We don't have. We recommend to who? We don't have. We don't have. Let's continue. So we say that when it's 10:30, draw my attention because your breakfast is ready. Now we're saying that we can enhance job and participation, re-engineer, and then improve on the quality of our programs with management. How can you do it? Participation. With, you remember COVID? When it was COVID, if you remember, it favored we the lazy ones. Are you aware? We the lazy ones were very happy when COVID came. Because we don't wake up early. So now you are asked to stay at home, log into the system, and submit your report. Very easy. You can even be on your bed. You don't have to get up and take shower. Yes, an African man must take shower once a month. You remember? Yes. So we're saying that participation. The reason why many people in the office do not participate in most activities is because of the culture. You don't give them the free will to also add their views. We impose on them to act. Now, if you look at the Google culture, I'll share with you. The Google culture, The Google culture has made it very flexible for every worker within the organization to be recognized. You can dress anyhow, but don't come naked. Anyhow, you can dress, but just don't come naked. Naked means not wearing anything. Just put something on yourself and think it's something. That's your. Two, if you come to office, lunch is assured. Free. You can come with your pets. We have a place to take care of your pet. You finish and you go home. And there is no reporting time in the office. But we have number of hours you should work a day. Because when you come to office, you log in. And you can only log out when you meet the number of hours. And you have a target. You have a what? A target for a day. So you can decide to come at 12 o'clock p.m., but you must finish your work before you go home. You can decide to come at 5 a.m., but you must finish your work before you what? You go home. Would you love that? There's no problem. For them, there is no problem. That's the culture at Google. And everybody is catered for. They have their own hospital. Every facility is available. Madam, would you love this? That's why you go to office and then you are with your phone, social media, because they force you to come. You don't want to come. Before you open the door, they change to another screen. They open a different folder and then they minimize the game. Then when you step out, they bring the game back. You don't know how we work. Yes, because the culture does not favor, and it doesn't give us the what? The motivation to innovate. The cyber, okay. It will not help. Then I leave that one and do on my phone. I leave your computer and do it on my phone. True or yes? And some even come with their own laptops. They leave the office computer and they play their game on their laptops. So how do you monitor me? Simple. Because the culture does not motivate us to innovate. You come to the office, you are only asked to do what they think you should do. Your views are not valued. Suggestion box, it doesn't even work. Does it work? I remember when I was teaching the JSS, I used to quarrel with my head teacher a lot. I'll come to school at 8 and she's complaining. Then I asked the woman, if I come before 8, what am I going to do? We don't start class before 8. She said, no, 8 o'clock is late. She will rule a red line and ask me to write my name under. I will write. That's write lesson notes. I said, I won't write. What I'm going to teach, what do I need lesson notes for? The one you are asking me to write, the students cannot even understand what I'm writing. You allow me to teach. After I finish, I go. You are the head teacher. You are in charge of administration, so you will be taking care of the children. That's why you are head. But you're asking me to sit in the school and help you take care of the children. That's not my duty. No. You see, that's the problem. And that is why our public educational system is not making any progress. Because we don't even know what we are instilling in the students. We don't know. You are telling me to sit in the school when I have no lesson. Sit where? Is there a staff common room? I don't know whether you get it. If you sit under a tree, the only thing you can do is to gossip. You cannot do anything meaningful. It's to gossip. There is no avenue created for people to be comfortable in order to think. I don't know whether you observe. Go to the secondary schools which have comfortable staff common rooms. The teachers don't go home. When they teach, they sit there with the AC, with the TV. And when you enter, you see them doing something. You don't create the environment and you are compelling people to get seated and dirty their clothing when they are not giving clothing allowance. So you can enforce a law when there is no provision for the person to get what? To abide by the law. It will not work. That's why I'm saying, you see, one of my professors said that in Ghana, the only thing he is happy with is just that we initiate laws and the laws are fighting each other. The laws are fighting each other. In the end, we achieve nothing. How can you bring Metro Mass, Ayalolo, and still go to the organizations and give people car loan, fuel allowance, maintenance allowance. Who will enter Yalolo? These are two laws fighting each other. You can't be promoting mass transport when you are giving people official cars. It won't work. You see the behavioral pattern. Don't worry, we're analyzing behavior. You see, our behaviors do not match, and it makes no progress. You understand? And that's what happens in our organizations. That's what happens. Any question? Yes, please. At a lower level, they will, because they are the implementers. They realize that what they are doing can only be done well when there is a change. But at the top, they are not in touch with reality. I have a short show for you, which is called The Undercover Boss. Undercover Boss. To explain your issue. Don't worry, just do it. The Undercover Boss. Frontier Airlines. No, I will send it to you. We're not going to, I'll just send it to you. Undercover Boss, Frontier Airlines. Oh, no, this is not the one. It's here. This one. The what? This one. Okay. The issue is that as we're talking, oh, boss, don't worry about this one free, you can sign. No, you're not leaving, you still have two less lectures. What we're saying is that we are still under innovative management. What we're saying is that we're supposed to have different ways of doing things in order to resolve the uncertainties in the organization that can lead to what? A change. What is this about? Come on, Richard. Come on, Richard. This is the CEO of Frontier Airlines. Now, they realized that Frontier Airlines was not making profits. What happened? They had to reduce the salaries of all workers and lay some people off. They reduced the salaries by 20%. But still, the boss realized that there was a problem. That he needed, though they were no more running deficit, they were not making profit, but he needed to understand the real issues in the world. So he left all the executive management and went back to the company as an intern, disguised himself as an intern to work under the various departments in the various locations. You understand? To understand the realities. Those who own your banks, they don't even know how the bank operates. So when you report to them, they don't value it because they don't know what happens. So we are saying that let's bring innovation. So that's an innovative managerial procedure that he took, and he was able to understand his company. And I'll send it to you. So what he did was that so you see, CEO of an airline, he's cleaning the airline. He's there emptying the waste. He's learning. Then after that, he went to
cross-train job literally covers just about everything that goes. And is there anything other than this?
CEO, he doesn't even know how to. bring an airplane back to where they park. He doesn't know. If you take a check, clearing a check to your CEO, he can't do it. He doesn't even know how to clear a check. So when they are telling you about the difficulties they face, you will not understand them. You understand? So we're saying that in this modern time, one of the innovative methods of management is to get involved. You, the top management, and that's the strategy UDS took in the training of their students at the undergrad level. You learn everything in class. We take you to a village, a community where you don't even get pipe water. And then you have a feel of the reality in Ghana, so that when you become somebody, you remember that what decisions you are taking in Accra, some people are somewhere. But we are human beings. You see, are you aware that even up to now, we don't have a mechanized system in offloading bags? The whole world, we don't have. So when the bags are removed from the airplane, you have to take them manually into the what? You understand? And you have to count. So he was made to count, and then he was counting, and the lady asked him, "How many have you?" He said, "I've forgotten." He has already forgotten. Meanwhile, this lady might be offloading more than 12 or 15 airlines in a day. Just one, you are already confused. And it's manual. You understand? So that's the problem. How many of us will go down, for example, in the morning when the cleaners are cleaning, for you to participate and have a feel of what they are doing? We wouldn't. So when they come to tell you that there is a need for us to buy more soap, we need more detergent, you won't understand. You will think that they want to sell it. But when you participate, you will know the actual yes. You see why they are stolen. You see why they are stolen? Because you don't know the actual quantity they need. You only wait for them to bring you the estimate for you to provide, so they will be stolen. And it's highly impossible because you don't do the work and you don't know how it's done. You don't do the work and you don't know how it's done. So we'll take it home. I'm done. Oh, sorry. So that's it. Yes. So now you don't just provide a recommendation for change. You need to provide him information so that he will see the need for change. You don't just provide the recommendation for change. Now leave the recommendations and now provide him the realities on the ground. Provide him the realities on the ground. That will lead him. You remember the Axe theory? When you have more information and more skills, it changes your attitude. So provide him the information and forget about your recommendation. Now it will lead him to what? You get it? Yes, boss. The boss himself is resisting change based on his interests. You know that. Some of them sometimes are resisting change based on their interests. Number one, some of them might think that the allocation for sanitation, when there is a surplus, is to his interest. You remember? Now you are making a recommendation to consume the surplus. You think he will not resist it? He will resist it. Not that he has not seen the need for a change, but it's going to raise expenditure. Remember we said change comes with what? Expenditure, resources. So sometimes I will resist it because I need surplus to be able to consume. Now, the recommendation you are making is going to increase our what? Our expenditure. I will agree. I will ask you to manage so that I can carry my money home.